Hello, this is Theradosia. Welcome to my very first mini-sode. This mini-sode arose out of the fact that while I love recording with my husband Czardus, we're always so much goal-oriented. We got to get something done. We're trying to reach the next milestone. And I really felt after the last episode, episode 8 of Honey Hill, that I was rushing to things way too quickly. And I was not happy with the progress that I made on the map, particularly the last spaces that we were throwing down. We wanted to be able to reach the meet the needs of the city, but I feel that in that I was sacrificing the aesthetic that I'm really looking for. So I wanted to talk just for a moment about what it is that I like. So first and foremost, as a reminder, this is inspired by the fictional town of Stars Hollow from the television show Gilmore Girls. And you see the river that's running through here, and this is the town that I'm building, which has yet to be named, is based off of the real city of Hartford. So as you can see on this screenshot, Hartford is along the river, and there's quite a bit of green space, and then the highway is a couple of bridges over. So on my city, on Honey Hill, that I'm doing with Czardus, I have already one bridge going across the river, and what I'd like to do is to try and create just along here today, just kind of setting aside some green space, and starting to set up some of the lines. Now, noticing the way that Hartford has some arterial roads going into the city, but then also some grids that have more residential areas as well. So another screenshot just to kind of take into consideration would be New Milford, Connecticut, which is one of the areas that has inspired the fictional town of Stars Hollow. So looking at New Milford, again, we're seeing still the use of a grid-like structure, but it does have kind of these big roads and based along a river. And then just kind of two more places that I've been thinking in mind. So one is an area of Wicker Park in Chicago. So the streets of Western, Armitage, and Milwaukee all meet at this kind of triangular intersection. And off of there are definitely different grids. But what I really like about the way that this is laid out is the length of the roads going different directions. So in some ways, the length of the road is going east to west, and in other ways it's long north to south, and that still allows for this nice grid-like feel. But when you kind of view it from above, there's still some uniqueness. It's not just kind of a boring, straight cut through. And I like that you can just see the way that these arterial roads are developed. So as I'm looking at my map and I'm trying to figure out how to adjust it, that's one thing I'm keeping in mind. And then last, there's an area on the south side of Chicago, and there's this really beautiful park that has the Museum of Science and Industry at the top. There's a public golf course, and just generally, I love how the city of Chicago has done a really, really great job of keeping the space along the water for public use. And so you can see in this screenshot, numerous parks within the city, and again, just this protection of the lake shore. So that's really what I'm going to be going for today. So to start with, I'm going to go and just start by bulldozing some of these roads that I did on the last episode of Honey Hill. And I don't want to take away too much of them because I'm trying to still recognize that I need this industry here for my town. And I'm actually going to go ahead and I was a little too overexcited there and I took away one more road. So I'm going to put that back in just so we can kind of protect that. So what I want to do now is kind of based off of the triangular intersection that I showed you for Wicker Park in Chicago, I'm going to take this road and bring it out about here. So notice this isn't quite a straight road, and I'm okay with that. This is supposed to be an older city, so I'm going to go ahead and take that there. So now I have these arterial roads. I also have this space here along the water. So my kind of plan is to make sure that this space along the water stays waterway. Now, I'd like to go back and put in some walking paths at some point. I think that now that I am a quote-unquote worthy village, I have some parks that Czardus and I talked through last week, so that's going to give me some opportunities here. But next, I want to kind of continue off of this road, and I'm gonna take it down. And actually, I'm gonna work on using the curved road so that I can kind of start a little bit. It can go here, and then I'm gonna kind of take it right along the waterway. So this eventually, looking at the screenshot that I showed of Hartford, this is where they have a highway right along kind of the outside of the city. As my city develops, that could be a great opportunity for this space here. But for now, the importance of this road for me is really that I'm reserving this space, that this space right here along the water has been set aside with this recognition that this is really what I'm gonna kind of build into other things as the city develops. I think this is realistic for Hartford, and I also think that just kind of fits my personal aesthetic for how I like seeing a city, how being a Chicagoan, that is something that I enjoy and appreciate. So coming down over here, I am going to zoom in a little bit, and I showed you again in Wicker Park this idea of having different types of directionality for the grids. So I'm going to switch back to this straight road here, and I'm gonna start here and just kind of take this up. Now I don't want to take it all the way, and you may have noticed that in the one that I looked at for Wicker Park, that they don't want to kind of block out or make it easy. If you're living on a residential street, you don't want to have the issue of people just kind of flying through your neighborhood. So just because this is, parallel-ish to the next street over, I'm going to put that there. And I just want to, because I'm still kind of new at this, just looking at the depth of things in terms of how much it's going to be able to be built. And actually, I think that I might need to go just a little bit over. So I'm going to try that again. I see the issues. I saw the circle here, and I stepped on that circle, but it doesn't give me that 4 block depth that I need. So I'm going to try again, and I think this is going to be what I want. So I'm going to stop prior to the electrical lines here, and that is going to be where I go for that first street. And then I'm going to go here, and again, I wonder why it's telling me that. That's fine. So I'll just go 1 down as I did the last time, and that will give me kind of what I'm looking for. So then I'm going to change the direction, and I'm going to go up from this way and go like that. And then let's see here, and then up there as well. So I'm still learning, as you guys see, and I didn't quite like the way that one looked. I know Czardus is always telling me not to worry about being perfect, and I think I'm seeing the angle here, and I'm on straight road. I'm not going to worry about it for now. I'm going to let Czardus kind of see what he thinks when we're doing our next episode together. So this, kind of there's these arterial roads, there's some interior roads here, just kind of giving it a little bit more of not that kind of straight through. And this is a little bit more of kind of a better setup of what I had in mind. Okay, so now that I have this little triangle the way that I want it, I'm going to zoom in, and I want to just adjust this area a little bit too. So this space here, just a little tighter, so not quite getting the kind of throwaways, maybe is what I'm looking for. And so over here, yes, the new construction is building up, and but I feel unafraid to go ahead and just say that I will be kind of just taking some roads right through this place. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. So I still want these roads to be my bigger ones. I want these ones to be kind of the offshoots of that. And as I've been thinking about it, what I want to do actually is just kind of take a road through here, which, upset my my residents, but I'm okay with that. And I'm going to go up probably maybe one more. No, I like just visually, I'm gonna take this to about here, which as well angering my residents, but this is kind of giving me a little bit more of the layout that I am looking for in this space. I like having just kind of these more traditional style blocks. I think that they're really pretty, and of course the preferences I've mentioned in the Honey Hill episodes is this is very much like the street that I grew up in. So this has a bunch of nostalgia for me in the way in which this grid is working out. So I'm gonna just do one more. I'm gonna take this one up from here as well. I can see it's showing me those lines, that lines up. So that is great. And I want to try maybe something a little bit different over here, like some of those blocks that I was showing you in Chicago. So we can see that the long ways are going this way here. I'm going to try doing one more out and then maybe doing some of the longer blocks this other way. And I'm just going to think for a minute about how I want to do that. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to take one street straight up like this. Ooh, actually, well, now they're gone. Can you Control Z on this? No, you cannot. So I just did that and made all of those neighbors very angry, but all for the sake of beauty, yeah? So I'm going to take this. I'm going to go in so I can kind of see this. One thing that I'm struggling with is just trying to get these like blocks of 4 that's not kind of allowing me to get necessarily the aesthetic that I would like to be able to see here right now. I've got kind of this very thin road, but almost kind of more alley-like, and I'm gonna take these ones this way. I wish that there was an easier way to see where exactly the space is going to go, because I want to make sure I'm protecting those 4 squares up, but I feel like until I start building the road, I can't see exactly where it's going to go. Maybe someone can tell me how I'm doing that wrong. See, that wasn't right. Okay, here, yes. Okay. And here. I feel like there's just kind of guessing in that. Okay, so then you know what? I might eventually go back in and take this out and do a park in here. I think that would be a really nice kind of long-term vision, just to, again, kind of have some of that green space that I really like in cities, but also just for the sake of ease of traffic, I am going to make just one cut through, and that fits very much with what I see in a lot of the parks of Chicago. There'll be an area that is green space, but then just kind of one cut through. That way not everyone's having to go all the way back through things. There can still be that little bit of drive-through. Okay, I'm feeling much better about the way that this looks, and I would say let's call that a wrap on this mini-sode. So thank you very much for watching, and just kind of shout out to the 5 subscribers that I had going into this video. I appreciate you, whoever you are, and your willingness to support my channel when I had not yet made anything. Your confidence in me is highly, highly appreciated. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.